Okay. So, first problem is the antiderivative of 23. Somebody tell me what it says, because I can't pull it up right now. So the antiderivative, that's great. Antiderivative of what?
X squared plus x.
X squared plus x dx. And from what values?
Negative 2 to 0.
-2 to 0. Okay? So you could break these up into, you could do this two different ways. You could go find the derivative of both and then do it, or you could separate it into two because of the positive, because of the product. You could do that. I don't care which one you do. This would be x to the third over what? Plus x squared over 2, or you could write it as 1/3 x cubed plus 1/2 x squared. Both evaluated at -2 and 0. Okay? And using the fundamental rule of calculus, just plug and chug. So that would be, now I'm going to erase this right here because you don't have to do it both ways. Now this is the way I show students to do it, so if you do it a different way, that's okay. This is pretty much the most basic way to do it. Parentheses cubed over 3 plus parentheses squared over 2 minus parentheses cubed over 3 plus parentheses squared over 2. And here I'm going to plug in what?
0.
And here I'm going to plug in -2. Now I'll do this one for you. What does that go to? 0. But be careful because of this guy right here. So right here we've got -8 what? -8 thirds. Right here you got a positive 4 what? Halves. Got to have a common denominator, which is 6. So let's see if this. I knew it would do it, but all right. So that's going to be -6. 6. 3 will go into 6. 2 times 8 is 16. 2, 3, 4 is 12. And -16 plus 12 is -4/6. That'd be 4/6, which is what?
-2/3.
Should be positive 2/3.
Well, in the parentheses, it's negative.
Say again?
Inside those brackets, it's negative 2/3.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The negative times a negative is what?
Positive.
Yeah.
You're skipping steps.
Okay? And that's pretty basic. Anybody got a question there? Let me ask you a question. Where do people have the biggest problems with these problems? The calculus or the math? The math. This is where students get it wrong. Right here. Now what causes a student to get it wrong? There are two things. Somebody tell me what they are.
Careless errors.
Huh?
Careless errors.
Yeah, but what are they? Give me the careless errors. The two biggest.
Like multiplying, you should be adding, or adding, you should be multiplying.
No, not in this one. This one we're adding, and the other thing I'm asking y'all to pick out the two most common things with this area right here.
The negative sign.
The negative sign out front. That's the first mistake. In other words, they forget that right there to distribute it at the end. And what's the other common thing that everybody has problems with? The denominators. common denominators. Okay? And that's the other thing people have problems with. All right? So what's the next one? The antiderivative of what?
X cubed minus 3x squared
X cubed,
minus 3x squared.
3x squared, dx, and from where to where? 0 to 1. Now, here, another way you could do this is you could break it up into 0 to 1 of x cubed minus 3, 0 to 1 of x squared. You could do it that way. That's just another way of doing it. I don't like doing it that way, so I'm going to erase that and do it another way. Do it the way that I usually do it. So, x cubed be x to the what? 4th over 4 minus, be careful here, if you have to, do another step. 3x to the what? 3rd over 3, and the 3's cancel. So our final evaluation is x to the 4th over 4 minus x cubed evaluated at 0 and 1. Parentheses to the 4th over 4 minus parentheses cubed minus 0. And I'm not going to go through and do all that because all you're going to get is 0. So plug in 1. And that's going to give us 1/4 minus 4/4, which is what? Negative 3/4. Okay? Say again. Everybody good? Now basically we've just done the fundamental rule of calculus. Alright? I don't spend a lot of time going through the cracks and crevices. I just go ahead and there it is. Let's do some more. I think there's some more on 395 and then we'll look at a couple online. So where's 395? Let me get my e-book back up. Where is it? There it is. I think it's 395. There's some. So let's work out some of these and then we'll move on. So go ahead and try 19, 21, 23, and then we'll move on. Let's do those three first, and then I'll let y'all pick out a couple. 20 what?
26.
Okay. Go ahead and do the first three, 19, 21, and 23.
That's an x cubed on 19,
I'm trying, on what?
right? On 19, that's an x.
Yeah, it's blurry, but it says, I think that's x cubed.
Okay.
You said 395, right?
Yes, page 395. Have they ever disqualified an NFL team before? I don't think they have, have they?
No. They should though.
If what they say is true, I think they should, but
It seems harsh, but
it sets a precedent.
Belichick's been caught before.
Huh?
Belichick's been caught before. It's the same head coach, the same front office. They've done it twice in the playoffs. They disqualified them.
Is that 6 and -2?
I'm sorry, what?
For the interval, tell me, is that 6 and -2? Or-
It looks like it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you'd be better off if you looked at the book, because I can't see on that monitor. Where?
Number 21. Or is that 4?
It's
Look at
1 and
4.
4.
1 and 4.
1 to 4.
-1 and 4.
The book has a positive.
Positive 1?
Positive one.
Okay, that's the squiggle on the antiderivative. The more you blow it up, the more distorted it looks. One to 4, is that what y'all said?
Yeah.
Good gracious, is that 5? 5 minus 2t plus 3t squared?
Yeah. The 23 is from 1 to 9.
Okay, 1 to 9. All right, I'm gonna pull this down now. And the first one, antiderivative of from 1 to 2 of x cubed minus 2x dx. And that's going to give us x to the 4th minus 2x squared over 2. And that's going to give us x to the 4th minus x squared evaluated at 1 and 2. So that'll be parentheses to the 4th minus parentheses squared brackets minus parentheses to the 4th minus parentheses squared brackets. And 2's go here and 1's go here. And 2 to the 4th is what, 16 minus 4 is 12 minus, what happens here? That's not rhetorical. Interaction needed.
0.
Thank you. And that's equal to 12.
I have a question, sir.
I had a student say, I thought 1 to the 4th was 4. Calculus student. What's your question?
Is the x to the 4th, is it supposed to be divided by 4?
Yes, you're right. Thank you. I guess I just decided to leave off the 4 for some reason.
It's a -1.
Yeah, it's a -1 to 2.
Okay? I just changed the problem altogether.
Just trying to.
Y'all should have told me that at the beginning. It would have helped. Y'all all gonna fail the class now. I just did a different problem. Just decided to change the problem. How about that? All right. Sorry about that. -1. I don't need to take it in twice. That'll be x to the 4th over 4 minus 2x squared over 2 evaluated at -1 and 2. And that's going to be x to the 4th over 4 minus x squared, evaluated at -1 and 2. And that's going to be parentheses to the 4th over 4 minus parentheses squared, brackets, minus, same thing, parentheses to the 4th over 4 minus parentheses squared. And here we're going to plug in 2. And here we're going to plug in -1. And we still get 4, is this 4 right here? 4 minus 4 is what? I get 0. Is that what y'all got? Minus parentheses, and that's going to give us 1/4 plus what?
4/4.
4/4, which is 5/4. And then the negative out front, I get what? -5/4.
Should be 3/4 because you got a negative.
Okay, let's check it. This is 1/4. 1/4 plus, I'm sorry, it's minus. I was looking at the two negatives. I mean, what, 3/4? 1 minus 4/4. Is that right? -3/4?
Negative.
And then the negative would be +3/4. Yeah. And you see that it can be very easily done to have a careless mistake. I did it after I changed the problem. Okay? All right? You know what's worse than a teacher making a mistake?
Students believe it.
No, teacher trying to persuade the class that he didn't make a mistake.
That's true.
Huh?
That's true.
Yeah, I've seen it. There's a couple that teach at Pendleton like that. They will go around the world to try to say that they didn't make a mistake. I just changed the problem. I made a mistake. No big deal. All right, ready for another one? Let's do 1/4 3t squared minus 2t plus 5 dt. What did I do? I put it in descending order. For the last 12 years, if you've been taking math, what have you been told to do? Put it in descending order. And then you get to college and they give you that. I don't understand that thinking, but anyway, I don't understand what the purpose of writing it like that is. So unless they just want you to put it in descending order, but who knows? All right, so 3t to the 3rd over 3 minus 2t squared over 2 plus 5t. Evaluated at 1 and 4. Please make sure I didn't change the problem. Okay? Now the 3's go out, the 2's go out, and that leaves you with t cubed minus t squared plus 5t evaluated at 1 and 4. Parenthesis cubed minus parenthesis squared plus 5 times parenthesis bracket minus parenthesis cubed minus parenthesis squared plus 5 times parenthesis bracket. And we put a 4 here. And we put a 1 here. Now, 4 to the 3rd power is going to give you what, 64?
Yes.
So I'm going to do another step here because I ain't Rain Man, okay? And some of y'all may be, but I'm not. So 64 minus 16 plus 20 brackets minus brackets 1 minus 1 plus 5. 5?
Yes.
Right? 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 plus 5, make sure. I'd hate for you to miss it because of a careless error. 64 minus 16 is what?
48.
48 plus 20?
68.
68 minus 5 is 63. And that should be what everybody got. And then the last one, first thing you do before you even start it is what? Rewrite it. 1 and 9, x to the 1/2 bx. It's going to be x to the 1/2 plus 2/2 over 1/2 plus 2/2. And that's going to give you x to the 3/2 over 3/2, which will give you 2/3 x to the 3/2, or 2x to the 3/2 over 3. So 2x to the 3/2 over 3, evaluated at 1 and 9. And that's going to give us 2 parentheses 2/3 over 3 minus 2 parentheses 2/3 over 3. And a 9 goes here, and a 1 goes there. Now, let's recall what a rational exponent is. What is a rational exponent? The square root of 1, or x to the first power, is equal to x to the 1/2. So you put the exponent over the what?
Root.
Index, or the root, right? Exponent over index. So exponent, 9 to the 2nd power, cube root. So this is going to be 2 times the cube root of 9 to the 2nd power over 3.
I think you flipped the 2 when you were just rewriting it right there.
What?
You have 2x to the 3/2, and you just made it
Yeah.
2 to the 9, 2/3.
What did I?
You flipped the x.
It's a simple mistake.
I think I gotta take a pill or something. I don't know what I'm doing. Why did I do that?
You didn't have your Mountain Dew this morning, did you?
Yeah. I just changed the problem again. Sorry.
Don't worry, this push is better.
That's called dyslexia, huh?
This push is bad.
It's it's all his fault. All right, so 2 parentheses. I know why I did it. I was looking at this 2 over 3, and evidently I just kept writing. I don't know. Minus 2 times parentheses 3/2 over 3, and 9 and 1. So that's exponent over index, so that's the square root of 9 cubed. So 2 square root of 9 cubed over 3 minus 2 cube root, or exponent over index, be square root of 1 cubed over 3. Well, what's the square root of 9?
3.
3 cubed is 27. That should be what you come up with there.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all help me out.
Because you can pull
You can
two
pull
nines out.
9 squared out.
Yeah.
You can do it that way.
9 times
Okay, so you get 27, or whatever I said. I don't forgot what I said now.
Yep.
Okay. 2 times 27,
54.
54 over 3. I have no idea, so we'll just write it as 54 over 3, because I don't want to depend on the calculator. And I'll do this one for you. 1. I can't screw that up. 2 times 1 is 2. 2/3 minus 2/3. I get 52 over 3. And you can use your calculator, or you can leave it as a mixed number, whatever, it doesn't matter. Listen, if you do this and you get it down to this, I'd care less whether you change it to a mixed number or whatever. Just make sure the directions specify That's where I can't give you partial credit. If the directions say write it as a decimal to the 10th, or to the 100th, then you have to change it. I can't give you partial credit if it tells you. Okay? You know, check that, make sure I didn't make another screw up. Dyslexia moment. All right, let's do a couple other ones that y'all were picking out. I think y'all picked out the e to the x, and let's do a trigonometric. Okay, 26. Go ahead and write down 26. And 28.
I was just kidding on 26.
Huh?
I said I was just kidding on 26.
Well, I mean, we can do it. I mean, it's not that big a deal. And go ahead and do 25 while you're at it. 25, 26, and 28. What?
Plus 6.
26 says,
-5.
I can't even read, it looks like -2 or -3 to 5.
It's negative
It's
5.
-5.
That's a -5 to 5. Okay, -5 to 5 of e to the x.
It's just E.
Yeah, it's just E.
Is that a little bit clearer?
Yeah.
I had to blow it up on the screen. How's that? I've got to move it over a little bit. There. So, what is the antiderivative of the sine? It's the negative, what? Cosine, negative cosine. So, that's pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to get negative cosine of pi minus what? Negative cosine of pi over 6. And crank it through your calculator. Now, antiderivative of e dx, that's real complicated. What's the antiderivative of e to the x, or e to the first power? E. And you'd evaluate that at 5 and what? -5. Or whatever, you know, you may have a e to the whatever power and you have to evaluate it. But what about 28? 28, why would 28 cause a problem? It's a conglomeration, isn't it? It looks like, what's the first thing you think of when you see 28? Product rule, but there is no product rule. What do you mean there is no product rule? There is no product rule of what? Antiderivatives or integration. So you quit, right? Throw your pencil down, quit. Make sure it makes that pop against the notebook paper, pop! That means you thoroughly discussed it and you quit. Or you could rewrite it and distribute the t to the 1/2 power. All right, remember that. That's something very important. That's why I wanted to do this problem right here. Because this is one of those Patrick Star moments. Some people look at it on a test and they go, and they just sit there because they don't know what to do because it's a product. Just do it algebraically and then you have the sum of two terms and then you just break it up. So that one looks like it would be a pain, but it's not. Okay? So, somebody give me that one again right quick. The antiderivative from what to what?
28.
Yeah, 28.
0 to 4.
0 to 4.
Parentheses 4 minus
4 minus 2.
t.
T.
No, 4 minus t.
4 minus 2. 4 minus t times square root
of t.
Square root of t dt. All right. First step, radicals and calculus. What? Don't mix. So what's the first step? Change the radical into what? T to the 1/2. So parentheses 0 to 4 of, and look what else I'm going to do. T to the 1/2 times negative t plus 4. Man, what did I do there? I put everything in the order that you were used to seeing. Now what am I going to do? Distribute. Antiderivative 0 to 4. Now be careful here. I'm going to write it out. T to the 1/2